Hello everyone, welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. Happy New Year! If this is your first time ever participating in a YouTube Live, please make sure that you are logged into your YouTube account if you want to participate in the live and you are in fact here while we are live. It will not let you participate in the live if you are not logged in, and while you're at it, please make sure that you check the drop down menu and you select live chat because it likes to default over to top chat. That's going to filter out some of the messages. Some of the messages, like one of my admin saying that she watched one episode of Cobra Kai and did not like it. D, you might have to be fired. Cobra Kai is fabulous. And you need to give it some time. You need to get into it because it's hilarious and it's wonderful. Okay, so anywho, my name is Stephanie. This is It's Crochet O'Clock. We do this live almost every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now the chat is catching up. Yay! If this is your first time here, get ready for the crazy pants. Yes, sometimes we do get a little bit crazy pants around here, but hopefully not tonight. Hopefully we're not going to get crazy pants. We're supposed to be wasuing. Isn't that what it is? Wasa. Woosah. Woosahing is what we're supposed to be doing. Yes, I have to grab my earlobe and woosah. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be decompressing after the long holiday stretch that was going on. We should all be locked in closets or have our family locked in closets so we can woosah and decompress from all of the crazy. I hope all of you guys had a fabulous holiday. I will tell you that I got a lot of work done on my blanket, and I am on my last repeat, you guys. I'm on my last repeat because right now it is 35 inches across and 42 inches high, and I still have about half of the repeat to go, so I'm probably going to get another 3 inches out of 2.5, 3 inches out of this, and then there's going to be a double border that goes around it, so that'll be another 2 or 3 inches. So that definitely throws it into the in between a throw and a lapgan category. So that's where we're going to stop, because I think I started on a white heart row and I want to end on a white heart row, and I think that if I do 2 more, because I'll have to do another rainbow row and then another white row to finish it off, I think then it will be too long. So we're going to stop here. Super excited about that. And then I can move on to doing the tying off of the ends and getting it ready for the double border, which is going to be wonderful because we hates the ends. We hates them. We do not want to do them. Cindy said she didn't like it either. Had me some homemade taco flavored chili mac with garlic toast for dinner. You know, I don't think I've ever eaten chili mac. I don't think I've ever eaten it. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody coming in. What am I on? I'm on white. I'm on white. And oddly enough, you guys, through all of this, I have gone through several balls of white, but I will tell you, I have only used 1 ball of each color for the entire blanket. All of these colors, just 1 ball. How awesome is that, huh? Pause for dramatic effect. I've got to get myself comfortable. I ran in the door and ran straight back here to you guys. So I'm a little bit cattywampus. She called it devil border. Did I call it devil border? No, I said double border, not devil border. No, that's not what we're doing. I don't like chorizo at all. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. I do not like chorizo at all, so you guys can have it all. Hello, Morgan. Happy New Year. Oh, y'all can pick on me if you want to. Pick on me if you want to. So me and the patrons are working, well, not really, me and the patrons. I am working on something that the patrons are all on board with. Hold on, let me move this just a little bit because that's a little bit too close to the edge of the table for my liking. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Hello, Aunt Jeannie, and I love you too. Hello, hello. So I was talking with the, yo, you love my cup? This is my Carlsbad Caverns cup from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Carlsbad Caverns National Park is what it says. And I probably should be using my It's Crochet O'Clock, the big one. Probably should, but listen, it was the closest to me and I was in a rush and I knew that I didn't want to sit here for an hour without any tea. So I just grabbed it. Sounded like devil. Okay, alright, so I'm going to do my very best to make the border as undevilly as possible. I like it nice and big. Yes, I like big coffee mugs. I do not like small coffee mugs. Dee is already finishing her first project for the year, a project for the friends. Wow. Pair of gloves for a friend. Go you, because I haven't finished anything this year. I want this to be the year that I get those clovers. Oh, the Clover Soft Touch. Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I need to flip my screen. You guys can't see what I'm doing, bless your hearts, because I don't have Ida here. Ida is always zinging me in my messages. Flip the screen! Fix your face! There we go. All right, here we go. They're Clover Soft Touch, but the Aussies have dubbed them Poopy Golds. Good morning, Leanne. Hello, welcome. I finished part 6 of Sophie's Universe last night. Well done, you. Well done, you. It's a beautiful pattern. Talk about an evergreen pattern. That sucker came out, what, like 7 years ago now? 7? It's got to be 7. 6 or 7 years ago that pattern came out, and it's still going super strong. Talk about an evergreen pattern. I started my Arizona completely over today. Oh no! Oh no! Do I even want to know what happened with that? Bless your heart. That's probably... I hope you weren't too far into it. Oh, there is Aunt Ida. We thought that she wasn't good. Honey, I thought you had a migraine. I wanted to say something, but then I would have revealed that I was lurking. Oh, bless Ida. Dee said, I love my Clover Soft Touches so much. Me too. Me too. I am so happy that I finally found my hook that works right for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I didn't think that I was going to like it. Oh, Steph, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm hand winding a skein, so I'm lurking. Hey, it's okay to lurk. There's other people that are working on projects that don't have the hands to type right now. Hello to all of you lurkers. Hello. Hi, all in the ads. I hope everybody had a good holiday. Thank you for watching the ads, Michelle. It's appreciated. Make sure I get those in the right spot. Okay. Just making sure. Because you know I got a tendency when I'm talking to y'all to put things where they ought not to be. My fingers were black, yay, hand-dyed wool. Hey, it happens. It happens sometimes. It's not great, but listen, after I went down my adventure of learning how to dye yarn, and John, you're a patron, so you've seen me. You've seen me rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse for hours and rinse, and the dye is still coming out. Oy. A friend of mine bought a couple of furls. She went back to her Susan Bates. My cousin gave me a furls hook. I think this is a furls. Yes, it's a furls. It's a 5.5 millimeter furls hook. It was an anniversary edition. And it's, I've never used it. I haven't tried it. I'm not going to lie about that. It's an inline hook versus a tapered hook. So I find that for me, unless I'm working with a difficult yarn, that tapered hooks work best for my crocheting style. But I do own one because my cousin gave it to me. How do you plan where the loops go on the different heart rows, and how did you get the colored stripes to match the rows? A whole lot of planning. Took me a whole lot of planning. It probably took me, I charted everything out first, and then I did many tests, and finally found one that where everything sat the way that I was happy with. But it took a lot of trial and error. I went through a lot of yarn to get this design. I miss the yarn all the time when I swapped to inlines. Yeah, me too, most of the time. Because that's a peek inside Steph's brain. Yeah, there's more than a couple patrons here tonight that watched me go through that process, because I was at work while it was happening. So I was snapping pictures and posting them to Patreon so they could see what was going on and how it was evolving. The patrons get to see things like that because I get crazy ideas. And in the same week, once I figured this out, in the same week I did 2 other patterns as well. And I hadn't even completed a first row of the actual blanket for this yet. I had already done 2 more. I was like, what is wrong with me? I have things just sitting in the wings. They're just sitting in the wings. It's ridiculous. Leanne said, I'm a Clover Soft Touch person, though the red tulip has taken my fancy. I've purchased 3 now in the more popular sizes I use. They are super smooth. I have a tulip too. I have 1 tulip, and yeah, here it is. I have 1 tulip. It's a 5 millimeter. And my problem with the tulips is they just don't sit. Like the Clover Soft Touch, it's a paddle handle. So it sits, for me and how I crochet, it sits right there in my hand, and it doesn't move. I don't know. With these, if they have round handles, they're either going to poke me right there, or they're going to move all over the place, and I find that my hand gets tired, oddly enough, because I'm constantly rolling my hook, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird. I just know that for me, Clover soft touches are my most comfortable crochet hook, and that I can crochet for hours and hours and hours, and I'm not going to experience any pain from it. Good night, Ida. Feel better, honey. Poor Ida. Migraines are no fun at all. Sorry, I have to pause in my talking because I do have to count. I apologize. I'm so excited that I purposely did not measure this. Tonight was the first time that I've measured it because I didn't want to know how far away I was from getting to the end. So I'm super excited to see that I'm there. I am there. I can taste it. Oh, did I put that in the right spot before? Okay. We can be weird together. Yes, it's okay to be weird. Rolling the hook makes sense. It does make sense in some instances, but for me, it's a lot easier because of the design of the handle. It doesn't take as much. You don't realize how much. Oh, there goes Kim. You know what? I'm going to laugh when YouTube times you out. You're going to get yourself timed out. YouTube is going to automatically moderate one of my moderators. Way to go, Kim. And now I've forgotten what I was saying because Kim completely threw me off. Oh, the joys of live YouTube, you guys. This is my life, and this is what happens. But at least everybody's getting a chuckle out of it. Didn't you know? No, I didn't know. I do not know. I do not know any of the things. I know nothing, much like Jon Snow. As a mod, I don't get timed out. Oh, gosh. Speaking of Jon Snow, how excited are we that that House of the Dragon is just around the corner? Super stoked about that. Probably come in April if they're going to release it anytime around the normal time that they did Game of Thrones. That's coming out. Yes, I binge watched all of the new Cobra Kai season 4. It was wonderful. I loved the ending. I'm super excited for season 5. What else did I watch? I watched Emily in Paris while I was at work and crocheting because it was dead because of the holiday. A Discovery of Witches, the final season comes out on the 8th. I think it is on the 8th. Yes, it comes out on the 8th, which means patrons, you're only going to get 1 hour with me next Sunday because I'm going to be watching Discovery of Witches. Gosh, I love that show. Let's see. I don't know what else. I watched that movie, that new, No, Emily in Paris is a TV show. Don't Look Up on Netflix. That was an interesting watch. It was very interesting. Did not go the typical way that most movies of that genre go, which was nice. No. No. I counted you. There you go. All right. Cobra Kai finished filming season 5 last week. Awesome. Johnny cracks me up. Holy cow, he cracks me up. He is the stereotypical dude that is stuck in the 80s. Greg watched Don't Look Up and said it was it was really interesting. It was not, it was weird. Oh, I thought you watched the show Emily while living and working in Paris. No, I watched Emily in Paris. In Paris. I don't like drama in my own life, but I like to watch other people's drama unfold in fictional television series. Did you see Spider-Man? Who are you talking to? No. I did not. I've not watched it yet. Cobra Kai. I started Don't Look Up, but I fell asleep. Oh! Looking forward for Discovery of Witches. We all know why you love it, Steph. Yes, because that's my man. Whew, that's my man. And I don't know who that woman is that is currently wearing his ring. But she just like, I mean, whew, that is my man. I love him. He loves me too. He just doesn't know it yet. It's the father of my hypothetical children. Ugh, I love him. I'm going to be so sad when it's over. So very sad. Yep, Spider-Man, no way. No, I don't do anything with spiders. No. Spider-Man isn't streaming, and I'm not going to a theater. I'm not going to a theater either. I didn't even go to the theater. Granted, I would have had to have driven to... I think there was one in Amarillo, so it would have been 2 hours away. But The Chosen, I think I've talked to you guys about The Chosen before. It's the story of Jesus. You know, like we all know the story of the crucifixion and Easter and all of that whole story. The Chosen is the story of him meeting his disciples and all of the people that were in his life well before that, and the things that he did well before, you know, leading up to those days that everybody else knows about. And the way that they tell the story is completely different, and it's approached in a completely different way. I've had so many aha moments watching the Chosen. But they had a Christmas special. It's free to watch. It's an app that anybody can download on their phone, and you can cast it to your TV, or you can watch it on your iPad. It's completely free. The entire thing is crowdfunded just by people like you and I, through donations, and it's a very, very well done production. But they had a Christmas special. They have a Christmas special each year, and this year their Christmas special, they actually put it in theaters for 3 days, which is something that they have never ever done before. And I really, really wanted to go and watch it, but one, I didn't want to drive all the way to Amarillo to do it because it was only in select theaters. 2, the Rona. I did not want to deal with the Rona. So I did not. But I really, really wanted to. There's a new Matrix? Come. Whew, okay. I'm okay. This is fine. This is all fine. Just having to lean, and I have my heater on the side over here, so it's odd for me to lean over this side. Can you get to Amarillo by morning like the song says? Yes, I can. It's only 2 hours away. Another Matrix. I did not know about that. I had no idea. I was planning on watching the Christmas special of The Chosen on Christmas Day because I was at home on Christmas Day and I had nothing else to do, but then I realized that I had all of The Witcher to watch. So The Witcher overtook all of Christmas Day for me, and that's what I did. I had a day of rest, and I laid on the couch and I watched The Witcher. I fell asleep during the movie. Oh no. It's on HBO. Is it? Well, I have HBO because I started watching the new Sex and the City. I took the kids before things turned pear-shaped here. Oh. John is a Witcher watcher. It was a good season, was it not? There was a moment in The Witcher. See, I just lied to you guys because I told you guys that on Christmas I did nothing but lay on the couch and watch The Witcher, and that is very untrue because I had a lot of adrenaline at one point watching The Witcher, and there was one point in the series where I literally jumped up off of the couch and my arms were in the air and I was like, yeah! I was that person. That actually happened. So I did exert a little bit of energy on Christmas Day, but it was all adrenaline forced. Yeah, I'm not going to a theater. Not doing it. Also so sad about Betty White. When I first heard the news, I thought it was a hoax again. Ugh. Man. So sad about Betty White. But you know what? She was 17 days away from being 100 years old. She lived a life, y'all. She lived a life. So while I'm kind of sad that she's no longer with us, she had a good life. It's kind of like how I tell people, I've experienced so much in life. I have done so many things that most people will never ever be able to do. I've been to every continent on the planet except for Antarctica. I have done some of the craziest things and been to some of the craziest places with some of the craziest people. I have had a great life. So if I die tomorrow, don't be sad for me, because I had a blast. I had a blast. I'm sure Betty White would say the same thing. Plus, she gets to be with her husband. And she loved him a lot. I wasn't alive when I found out the co-host also thought it was fake news. She said, you better make sure, right? Yeah, I had to double check too. I think everybody had to double check to make sure that it was actually true. And I also think that it's kind of poetic that it came at a time when people can't gather, because I think in California people still can't gather or any of that, because Betty always told people that she loved animals more than she loved people, and that she really didn't like people. So, you know, she won't have this huge thing going on for her funeral, I'm assuming. I'm not sure I want to live to 99. It's a long time. It's a long time. I did not know she had three shows with her name in them. Just knew of the one, and it was canceled over a. Yep, it sure was. TMZ broke the news first, and a lot of the time you wonder about TMZ. That's where I saw it first too, was on TMZ. But then I waited a couple minutes and it started coming from everywhere else too. So I was like, okay, all right. My mother-in-law is 99. Bless her heart. She turns 100 the end of April. Sliced bread is the best thing since Betty White. Yes, it is. Stop. You know what I'm sick of, though? Like, all of the hoaxes with the Queen. I'm so sick of that. It's really, really, really starting to annoy me. Like, all of these things of saying that the Queen is dead, but they're waiting until a specific day. What is it, like April 17th or something like that to reveal anything? I mean, it's just talk about fake news. I would have said, what? You aren't entertained by tap dancing? Because I sure am. Right? He was a good dancer. He was a really good dancer. But for me, I know that she did a lot, but for me, she's always going to be Rose Nylund. Gosh, she was a funny lady. She was a super funny lady. My tea is calling to me, but I'm so close to the end of a road. Do you guys ever have that happen to you? Where you're thirsty and your drink is just right there. You could literally pause for just a couple seconds and take a drink, but you don't want to because you're so close to the end of the row that you just want to finish it. I'm sure glad her role on Golden Girls nearly wiped out the role she had on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. For me, it wasn't so much the St. Olaf stories, it was her whenever she got a jab. Because I am a lot like Rose. I don't have, I'm not a very funny person, and I am certainly not a quick person. So it's not, I mean, I will walk right into things. Like, for instance, and it's so easy for people, even my Aunt Jean Ann, my sweet Aunt Jean Ann, who never does anything to hurt anybody. Even my Aunt Jean Ann has caught me. We were, when my grandparents were still alive, my aunt was in town and she was visiting, and I was over there, as I always was when my aunt would come into town. And we were over there and we were making salmon patties. I think we were making salmon patties or crab cakes, one of the two. But anywho, we were talking, and I said, man, I love snow crab. I love snow crab. I could eat my weight in snow crab. But did you know that it's incredibly high in sodium, super high in sodium. Like, we really should not be feeding this to Nanny and Poppy. We should not. Seafood is crazy and high in sodium. Why is that? And my aunt, in her soft, sweet, angelic voice, does not skip a beat as she's mixing all of these things together in the bowl with her hands, and says, well, honey, they do live in the ocean. Things like that happen to me all the time. It is very rare that I am the person that is getting one up on anybody. So when those rare moments happen, like they do for Rose, they are really good, which is a blessing for me. But I digress. No. I am one of those people. I am one of them. It's me. I am one of those people. Yeah. Oh my word, I forgot that. Uh-huh. I am a lot like Rose. I used to have a group of girlfriends before I moved here to New Mexico, and it was a little supper club. And we met every Wednesday at my house, and there was like 20 to 30 of us, depending on the time of the year and who all was around and all of that. But it switched off each week of who cooked dinner, and it was just a girls' night that didn't involve, you know, going out to a bar or anything like that. We were just hanging out at my house for a couple hours, and twice a year we would have socials where the husbands would get to come and hang out. But we had many conversations about the Golden Girls, and we would have laughs about you know, who would be who playing in the show. And of course, me being the Southern thing that I am, Blanche Devereaux was my hero, and I was very young, so Blanche Devereaux was my hero, and I wanted to be Blanche Devereaux. But in reality, looking back on it now and having decided that I'm going to be more honest with myself, I am more like Rose. You will have fun weaving those? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Double border. There's going to be no weaving. No weaving. Where's Delbert been? Lord only knows where Delbert's been. Delbert does his own thing. It's a double border. That's a tongue twister. Nope, double border. No weaving of these ends. I decided that when I first wrote the pattern that it was going to be a double border and that we were not going to deal with those shenanigans. I need to find a Julia Sugar Baker. Wow. Wow. What was Delta Burke's character? I remember when I was little, I thought that Delta Burke was just the prettiest woman on the planet. You could not convince me any different. I thought that she was just beautiful. Oh, I loved her. Well, I definitely need that pattern. When I write it, you will be able to get it. There's a woman on TikTok who sounds exactly like Julia Sugarbaker. She's married though. Suzanne. Thank you, Diane. I loved her. I'd forgotten about that show. Suzanne Sugarbaker. Oh, good times. When you write it, will you share the link on Facebook? When the pattern comes out, it will go out everywhere. Yes, Freaky. I'm still traumatized from the candy cane border of the yaya, so the easier the better. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is a really simple pattern. Honest to goodness, it is. It is silly, stupid, simple, and it's so versatile. You can make the blanket as big or as small as you want. So I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. Bye, all. Gotta go. Bye. Well met. Orange vehicles to y'all. And the gloves are finished. Yay! And the crowd cheers. Oh, nope, nope. See, I almost made a mistake just there. Did I? Okay. Settle down, Stephanie. Settle down. I'm excited to see the color combinations folks choose. Oh, Freaky, I need to make a correction. Yes, unless you are a patron, because the patrons get all of my patterns of a certain tier and up. They get all of the patterns. So yes, but not. But yes. Even the patterns you did not write, they get them too. They can't get something that I didn't actually write down, so no. I probably need to go ahead and give them one pattern for Yaya's Charms, considering that it's been sitting there, tested and done for over a year. I probably should just give that one to them. There we go. So not all your patterns then. Well, listen, some of the things, they just float around in my head and they never come to fruition. Because that's just the way that it goes. A lot of the things, if we're being honest, a lot of the things. Because I would much rather crochet. The honest truth is that I would much rather crochet than deal with all of the technical stuff that comes with being a designer, the writing out of the pattern, the doing the testing, the tech editing of it, the doing the video tutorials for it before you can release it, and then the customer service afterwards, and all of that stuff. I would much rather just grab my hook and grab the yarn and go and just make something beautiful and then move on to the next thing. So it takes me a while. It takes me a good while. Yeah. Steph says that she agrees with me. I'm glad. Is not your doodling part of testing? No, because the thing is whenever you write something, it's a whole lot easier for you to glance over your mistakes because you know what you mean. So testing has to be done. I have to hand things over to the testers, but what I do is there's such a time gap between when I get finished writing a pattern to when I film the video tutorials, and I do that on purpose, even though it slows down the process like it does with the next edition of Yaya's Charms, because I just haven't had the gumption or the motivation with the way that 2021 went to do any of that. What it does is it gives me time because the testers are going through, they are finding my mistakes and my errors, and then the changes get made. It gives me one more chance of going through it because as I am filming the tutorial for you guys, I am reading straight from the pattern. So if something doesn't work out right, I am the last, like hurdle that a pattern has to go over before it comes out to you guys. And I do that on purpose for that reason. Did I start filming? No, you know what? I didn't film. I went through and I made it again while I was waiting on the yarn to come that I was going to make it in. And I found some errors that even the testers didn't catch. Dude, freaky. Yes, Kim is the worst pattern tester ever because Kim cannot, she is incapable of doing a pattern as it is written. No matter whose pattern it is, she is incapable of doing a pattern as it is written. She has to make changes to it. So Kim doesn't do very well for that. I think you did good with Jean Ann. You didn't make any... Did you work up Jean Ann? I think you did. There's not much you can change on Jean Ann or it'll take away the angels in it. I have to learn to read a pattern to be a tester. Yeah, it's kind of a prerequisite. I only changed how I attached to the hoop. See, that's okay. That's okay. I'm almost to the end, which is good. Just in time. We have 10 minutes left. Hey. Ah, come on. We were so close. You and I were friends. Get in there. We're so close. Is there a class to learn how to read other than kindergarten? I tell people all the time that I think that the easiest way to start reading patterns is to find a pattern that has a video tutorial with it and go through the pattern, read the pattern as you're listening to the instructor tell you how to do it. And then the other way that even I still to this day, if I use a vintage pattern where everything is clumped into a space this big and it's for a blanket that's bigger than this, but it's clumped into a space that's this big, even I will sit down with a piece of paper and I will take that pattern line by line, comma by comma, and I will write it out longhand for myself. I will take out all of the abbreviations and I will write it out for myself from that pattern, because sometimes even for me, looking at patterns like that, it's just, it doesn't compute and it doesn't translate into my mind the way that it should. So sometimes I have to do that. So maybe that is something that can help you guys. Oh, for Amy's Embrace, yes you did. Yes you did. Yeah, so anywho, that is something that that might help you guys, is to take the pattern just line by line and write it out. And instead of it saying DC, write double crochet. Instead of it saying SKST, write skip stitch. You know, just do things like that so your brain can process it. Because if once you do that long enough, and once you do the same patterns, like with Emma's patterns, I can't test for Emma anymore. Well, I might be able to now because it's been a couple years since I've done one of her patterns, but for a long time I did every single pattern. I tested every single pattern that Emma had coming out. I filmed her videos, and I got so used to Emma's style of writing that I could no longer see her mistakes, because I knew Emma's style and I knew where she was going next with her stitches, that I just completely missed them. So that will happen to you guys as well. If you follow the same creators, say for instance, you love Helen Shrimpton's designs. Helen Shrimpton has a very specific style to her crochet and her writing, the way that she puts out patterns. So once you do, you know, like 2 of them, I'm going to say, going through 2, maybe even 1 of her patterns, if you break it down and you write them out yourself, your brain will automatically start to see things and recognize them, and eventually you won't have to do that anymore. Read a traditional granny square pattern that you already know how to make. Match up what you do with what it says. Listen, the first pattern that I ever wrote was Yaya's Hugs. And it was a horrible process for me, because I thought it's just granny squares. How hard can it be? So I understand where you guys are coming from when you say that reading patterns is difficult for you, because it is difficult. And I know that it's difficult because I've done it in reverse. And the instructions to make a simple granny square look like... Sorry, that's my dryer buzzer. I forgot it was on. Anywho, they look like they belong on the walls of NASA. I've said it I don't know how many times over the years. I was blown away when I was doing that pattern and I was writing it up because I had such difficulty trying to explain to you people how to make a granny square. I could show you how to make a granny square. I could read patterns, but trying to write it out to tell you guys how to make a granny square, that was a miserable experience for me. And I don't ever want to do it again, if I'm being honest. So, I get it. I get it. Anywho, write it out longhand. Eventually, things will start to click in your brain, and eventually it won't take so long for those moments to click in your brain. I promise. Also, I am the freak that inside my bag here, let me flip this over for you. Inside my bag here, all my colors have to be in the exact row that, in the order that they're in. Yeah. Just a little peek into how Steph's brain works. Yeah. The rainbow is even in the bag. I don't know, guys. I don't know why I am the way that I am. I just am the way that I am. I are the way that I are. Good gravy, that spooked me. What spooked you? Oh, this blanket is almost too big to fit into this bag. It's okay. I'm going to persevere. I will persevere. Yes. Okay. I guess I can put my shoes back on. I'm the same way. OCD on some things. I just like being... Oh, the dryer scared you. It scared me too. I thought it was off. And to tell you the truth, when I turned the dryer on, as I was passing through the laundry room to get over to this side of the house, I distinctly remember telling myself, as I was going through the kitchen into the laundry room, make sure you turn off the buzzer. And apparently I did not. Wow. I just make a bigger bag. Yes, Kim, but I do not have your talent. I just don't. So, our time has come to an end. But that's okay, because the shenanigans continue in the Facebook group all week long. You can go hang out there if you're on Facebook. You can chit-chat about all the things crochet, all of that good stuff. You can do that in the It's Crochet O'Clock group. You can do that on the posts on Patreon if you want to join up on Patreon. You can hang out with me on Sundays sometimes. See behind the scenes stuff. Catch me in my pajamas, which happens a lot. If we're being honest, Patreon is just one big old pajama party most of the time. It is, but it's fun. It's great. I usually have to follow a tutorial vid with the big projects, but Sophie's is so well written that I haven't had to continually watch them. That's good. That's very good. So, it's time for us to go. You guys have a wonderful week. I will see you next week if I don't see you in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group or over on Patreon. Remember to be kind. Goodbye, Aunt Jean Ann. I love you so much. I love all of you guys too.